You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
Welcome back to The Money Hour on 1150 AM KKNW. I am your host, Tina Mitchell.
And I'm your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
Your local mortgage experts. We bring in studio each week the best of the best experts in everything regarding your money, helping you build a strong financial blueprint. If you're hearing our show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast, but we're here to answer any questions or connect with you, the guests that we have on the show. Please call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. In studio right now, we have Katie Grindon of KG Realty, How to Succeed in Real Estate. Katie, thank you so much for coming in. First time in studio. Very excited to have a conversation with you today.
Thanks for having me.
And a little bit about Katie. Katie was born and raised in Whidbey Island, where her family roots go back 5 generations. Growing up in the beautiful Puget Sound, she took advantage of the amazing lifestyle, from spending summers in the island beaches to winters spent skiing in the mountains. Katie has a deep appreciation of why her home is so loved by others, and she loves helping her clients find their perfect place to call paradise. Katie has learned that the key to long-term success in building strong client relationships, as well as great team to surround herself with. Katie and her team offer unparalleled knowledge and many years of combined success working with home buyers and sellers. Her team is made up of specialists whose skills complement their strengths and whose genuine care for her clients reflect their family values. Katie and her husband Jason are raising 4 incredible sons, and they have been legal guardians for a young girl who is part of their big happy family. Together they enjoy from soccer and skiing and paddleboarding and just hanging out as creating lots of memories. After many success years as a realtor, Katie opened her own real estate firm in 2018, KG Realty.
Well, congratulations on that, Katie. That's
Sounds like a fun family.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm going to go hang out with them.
Yeah, can we go hang out with you sometime? That would be fun.
We like to have fun.
Paddleboarding, soccer. I like both of those.
And all the success she has in real estate as well.
Right.
Crazy.
Open your own office in 2018. Talk a little bit about what contributed to your success here in 2018.
Well, I would say that my success is due in large part to the fact that I've always had a mentor. I've always wanted to grow and learn and develop myself. So I'm constantly pushing myself to grow and achieve more. I haven't hit where I want to be, and I'm not sure where that is at this point, but I'm constantly challenging myself and wanting to be better at what I do.
Yeah, and that's great. That's what speaking of superstars, Patty was one of my superstars. I bring in the best of the best each week. Every Monday, I do a Facebook Live of the best in the real estate space based on what they're doing in our market. And Patty that we have in studio, she was one of them. And Katie's going to be as well. And that really is a trait of a superstar, always looking at getting better and improving and challenging yourself. And so I love that. So Katie, what is your biggest challenge starting your own business, and how did you overcome that challenge?
So fear, without a doubt, it was fear. And I have found, fear comes up with many, many things in life. It's a constant thing we deal with. And I would say the best thing I did was my due diligence. I went out and I talked to other business owners. I talked to other people in the industry. I talked to the Department of Licensing. I did a lot of due diligence. And so when you do that, it shines a light on the things that you're most scared of.
Yes.
And it's not scary anymore. And then the second thing I did was I just did it. I mean, there's a point where you're not going to know everything you need to do. You just have to do it and you learn. So just jumping in a certain sense with both feet and going for it. And then in hindsight now, about a year later, it was like not a big deal.
Yeah, I love that because when I first met you, when I heard about all your success, and you were sharing and doing a presentation with a networking group with a lot of powerful women there, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get you in studio. She's like, okay, booked it. I need to get you on my Coffee and a Superstar. Okay, book it. Hey, I've got this great program. Okay, I'm in. I love that. And one of my core practices is embrace your failures, and that's just what Katie was talking about.
That's awesome, Katie. So, and I imagine starting your own office, your own firm, there's obviously a lot of marketing involved. Tell us a little bit about marketing tips and what you'd suggest for those out there looking to grow their business.
So actually, it's not as complicated as I think people think it is, and I don't think it costs as much money as people think it is. Your best marketing tip is yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're in a relationship-based business, and we're in a relationship-based industry, and it really circles back around to developing your database, your sphere of influence, and developing your relationships. So I think as realtors, we overcomplicate it by thinking we have to pay for a lot of marketing in order to bring that business in. And really, you don't have to. I think it's harder to develop relationships on a certain sense. But if you can learn those skills and go after that, that saves you a lot of money at the end of the day. But really going after that is the best marketing tip I can give you.
Yeah. So, Katie, you talked about the importance of changing and putting yourself out there. And so, what have you seen in the industry? And, because we have to make a decision to change ourselves, and that's our own decision, but you can't make a decision on what's going to happen externally, which is always going to be changing. So, what changes have you seen in the industry since you've started your career?
So, I would say I consider myself pretty young in the industry still. I started in 2012, and that was when the recovery was happening. So, I did not experience the hard times that a lot of other realtors went through. But the changes I've seen in the last 7 years that I've been doing this, I would say technology obviously continues to change and evolve. There's a lot of things that people can tap into. I think, that's going to definitely keep evolving and growing. I also think there's a lot of competition with discount brokerages.
Yes.
I think that's a lot more of what we see coming into the marketplace, and they're really coming from a lot of different places and wanting to get a toehold into the market, really. Real estate hasn't changed in a very long time. I mean, the business model we use, it has been the same for a very long time. I don't know if that is going to change the market, but I do see more of that happening.
Yeah, and I mean, discounted shops, they're everywhere. And we've said this before, no matter what you're purchasing. And I always use the example, you can buy your clothes at Target or you can buy it at a department store. I mean, it's up to you. You can take service or you can take a discounted price. So, you can't have everything.
Katie, I'm just curious. So if we could turn back the clock and you could give yourself, now, if you could give yourself a piece of advice when you started this journey, what would you tell yourself?
I would say know who you are, know what your strengths are, know how to utilize those strengths. I have changed so much from when I started this business. Just my personal growth has been huge. And now where I'm at is I know my personality type. I know how I work best. I know how to tell people for example, my employees, how to work with me. So I would say know who you are and utilize those strengths would be the best advice I could give myself.
Yeah, I know. It's just amazing how much better and how much more and knowledge and wisdom that we get every day that we get up and come back into the office. It's just so exciting. I want to know where I'm going to be 5, 10, 20 years from now. So, Katie, we have a lot of real estate agents that listen to the show. And for them to be able to take their business to the next level with the success that you have seen, what advice would you give them?
Well, it does kind of speak to the other question you asked me about marketing tips. And the advice, talking a little bit about you are your best marketer. You're your best resource in your business. So I would say to other realtors, just be aware of that. And also, as they start to experience success, learn how to work with other people. I have a team. So I'm my team leader. I have buyer specialists who work for me. So I've learned how to leverage my time. So I talked about playing to my strengths. My strengths are I'm really good with clients. I'm really good at prospecting. I'm really good at getting business. I personally can't handle all the business I bring in. So I had to learn, and this would be good for other realtors to know, as you grow, and we like to hold on to our business because we think we're the only ones who can do it the best. We don't give anything up. We look at our emails. We look at, we want to work with every single client, all the paperwork and everything. Learn how to develop your business and let go of those things. And you have to learn how to teach and train people to take that stuff on for you. And then your business will explode if you can do it. It's really hard. I have to tell you, my personality profile, I'm a very high D, if anyone knows the DISC profile.
You're a driver.
I'm very controlling and I don't want to give anything up. But I have had to learn how to do that. And I will tell you, my world has changed. My life has changed.
Yes.
Everything about my business has changed. So it's awesome.
It is. I'm a driver as well. I'm a high I followed by a high D, and no C or S with me at all. But I teach embracing your strengths and hiring out your weaknesses. It is a must. You can have a successful business, but you cannot have a successful business and a successful life if you do it all on your own.
So, Katie, I'm a big believer in, I mean, if you know me, I've talked about it before. Like, I do a lot of reading and, the YouTube and podcasts and everything, always trying to gain positivity, knowledge, and always feeding that. And I imagine with your success, you're probably very similar. Your favorite book, what would you recommend as your favorite book right now, and why is that your favorite book?
So whatever book I'm usually reading at the time is my favorite because I'm getting a lot out of it. The most recent book I read that I really liked is called Chop Wood, Carry Water by Joshua Metcalf. And it really is a story about, think of the Karate Kid, wax on, wax off.
Yes.
Laying the
Love
foundation. It's a really interesting story about an American guy who goes to become a samurai warrior. But, it's foundational. It's like you do the same. He's chopping wood and carrying water every single day and complaining about it the whole time because he wants to be a samurai warrior and he's not getting to play with everything. So really what I would say I've gotten out of that book is we work very, very hard on the foundational stuff and you just have to have faith. If you do those things, you will explode. You will achieve the success you want to achieve, and it will be, that overnight success that takes 20 years to get there.
Yes.
It will happen.
Yes.
So I like it for that reason. It's a good story.
Chinese bamboo tree takes 5 years to break ground, and it grows 90 feet in 6 weeks. Wow. That's just what you're talking about. I was going to tie that in because that's the biggest thing at people is they don't rejoice in their small successes, allow themselves to fail so that they can proceed forward like you were talking about. And just wait because you don't see what's happening underneath the surface, and you need to build that foundation in order to support the massive growth. But there's something that's happening. You just don't see it yet. So I love that. As we're wrapping our time up here with you, Katie, I'd love for you to share a little bit what's important to you outside of business. I know you're going to say your kiddos.
Yeah, my husband and my kids,
Yes.
for sure. That's really important. I mean, we're very proud of our children, and 2 of them are graduated. Our daughter's a student at the University of Washington. My son's graduating right now from the University of Washington. We have a senior in high school and an 8th grader. And so we love our kids and we're really devoted to them. My husband is incredibly important to me. He's my rock. He's my foundation.
Yeah.
We've been married for 19 years. And he's the only reason I am where I am right now. So he's a great guy.
That is so beautiful. And I hope he's listening to the show because I can hear the emotion and I can see you almost tearing up there. And, it's really great because businesses, we work and we work really hard. And I know that you do. You put in a lot of time, effort, and energy into the success that you have. But the why behind it is really, it's our family and what we're passionate about. And so thank you for sharing that. And I love to see the emotion behind it. Katie, it was a real pleasure for us to be able to interview you and look forward to having you come back in studio again soon.
Thank you for having me.
And this is your host, Tina Mitchell.
And your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
You're a local mortgage expert signing off for the day. We'll be here same time, same place next weekend, right here at 11:50 a.m. KKNW. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.